Good afternoon. This is January 5th, 2025, and it is a little after 2 p.m. So today I wanted to focus on faith and fear. A lot of time I talk about how Tony Robbins refers as our peak state and a valley state. And the difference is when we are in emotions like sad, anger, confusion, worry, all of those, the low frequency emotions, when we are living on that, with that kind of frequency, those keeps us down. Those are called valleys. And the one that are high frequency are peace, love, joy, enlightenment. And a lot of time, enlightenment, when it comes to enlightenment, it could be where, Buddhist monks maybe who are meditating all day, which is not possible for people like you and I, but mini enlightenment is possible. I have experienced it in the past. The mini enlightenments are little moments where you feel that contentment, so the day is going good, or things that you have done. There's a little time. It could be an hour, it could be sometime during the day here and there, or it could be all day, but then you don't stay in that zone. Those could be considered as mini enlightenment. My faith journey, of course, have evolved over time. If you have seen my videos from early days when I started May 27, 2024, about 7 months ago. The calendar is over there, so that's why I'm looking over there. It has changed for many different reasons, which I will cover sometime. One of the viewers, you have asked me about it a little bit, and then I mentioned that the shorter version is that God has guided me for the path that I'm following. But there's a very longer version of it, which I plan to cover someday when the time is right. So now, I would say from mid last year or so, I follow Christianity, and I attend church. Like this morning, I attended online. These days it's been cold, so I don't always go in person, but I make sure to attend. I love to learn, so I also attend a Bible study group. I'm part of, they're starting it back again this Thursday night. They do it once a week, but during the holiday last couple of weeks, it was off, but so I'm looking forward to that. So why I wanted to focus on faith and fear is because I have read in that, I might be mixing up the books, however, there was a research, I think it is from that Joseph Murphy's The Power of Our Subconscious Mind, if I remember the book accurately, that there was some research done, scientific research, where they came up with 4 main emotions. And again, if I remember those right, they are like happiness, sadness, anger, and fear. Now, I don't have any research, but if you narrow it down even further, in my opinion, it is just 2, right? Faith and fear, because even though when I talk about our conscious mind and subconscious mind, the subconscious mind, which is all about fear, because it wants to protect us from our survival instincts when it kicks in from many generations. It wants to protect us. Its intentions are not bad. It wants to protect us. So if you go deep about any of those negative emotions, either it is sadness, worry, anger, if you go deep, if you keep asking questions where it is coming from, it is from some sort of fear. Either it's fear of money, the fear of reputation, fear of disappointing somebody, fear of, like, if you keep going down, it comes down to fear. And on the other hand, the peace, love, joy, harmony, contentment, all of that goes to faith, right? Because they say that faith and fear, both of those emotions need us to believe in something that we can't see. Those are intangible. But based on our belief, our values and whatnot, and our life experiences, we have the power to give the fuel either to the fear or to the faith, and based on that, our emotions keep cycling. And which is why I like to compare the high frequency zone as a zone of faith and the low frequency zone as a zone of fear. My whole thing is, I try to simplify it for myself, and then when kind of clicks, I try to share it here in this channel, as you guys know, especially for the folks who you guys keep coming here often. I appreciate it very, very much. So from that perspective, when you want to really simplify it, you have either two emotions. When you're like, the subconscious is that fear and the conscious is faith. And normally they would say 95% of our emotion is controlled by that, because that goes on autopilot, and the faith is 5%. So we have to constantly work on it to increase that, right? So now it's not that you're constantly pushing to do that. Why practicing mindfulness, doing affirmation and gratitude, all of that helps, is because all of that keeps us on that faith zone. Either you are following, doesn't matter if you are you believe in God, universe, whatever that is, that will keep you in that high frequency zone, in that zone of faith, because faith is simply that you're believing something that you can't see, right? But something that you can see at the same time that is keeping you in that zone. Whereas the fear is default. And the unfortunate thing is, if this was not default, we don't have to work so hard. But then the good part of it is, when we do that, the daily gratitude or mindfulness practice, it becomes a habit. So we can change it. And you can also pick one thing and do it every day. And there is so many researchers. One is definitely from Joe Dispenza, and there's many more. You can look it up, for doing gratitude every day. There's so many researchers that it rewires our brain. And from the last few months, what I learned is doing 3 new gratitude is even more powerful, because when it's new, it keeps the focus almost on the day or within a day or two. Because when we keep doing the gratitude practice, but let's say to make it quick, to make it like a chore, or it becomes like a chore if we keep doing that for a while, like, oh, okay, I'm grateful for the food, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head, but then we are not really paying attention what's going on in the day-to-day life, right? And that is the focus, where we are focusing on the day-to-day life to be grateful for something. It kind of reminds us that there's still some good that is happening in our life, even though there could be things that challenging at the moment. So it helps us to get our focus back into the things that are still good in our life. And they say that what you focus on magnifies, right? So when we're focusing on the good, it increases. So another way which I emphasize on this channel a lot is that, there's a triangle, like thinking, feeling, actions. And I even wrote down this post-it. I have a few post-it for different reminder for myself. So thinking, speaking, and action. That also helps us to stay in that zone, or it becomes a habit, because more you think of the positive thought, more we will be speaking about those positive things, and more our actions are going to be inspired by those, and it will follow similar pattern. And a simple example is you would see that when normally the opposite is true too. Normally when we are feeling sad and some frustrating thing happens, and when we're more frustrated, and then we take an action which is even more frustrating, and that cycle continues. It's like a spiraling down thought and the spiraling down action. So the way mindfulness works, or the gratitude, it kind of helps to break the pattern, meaning when our mind is going spiraling down, some little thing can remind us to go back, that we have the power to get back to the positive zone. We have the power to get back to the zone of faith, in that high frequency. So I'll keep focusing on that too, the faith over fear, and see how it works for you. Because I'm gonna share this last quick story, and then I'll finish the video today. I'll be exercising a little bit. I haven't decided yet if I'll go to the gym or I'll be exercising here from some YouTube video. Anyway, so this morning I spoke to my mom. She is in India. I speak to her once in a while, and so she was worried about me about something. All moms do that. I worry about my daughter like crazy. So I'm one of 6 kids. I'm the youngest, but my mom loves me like as if I'm her only kid. I'm so very grateful for that. She taught me how to love unconditionally my daughter. And since my daughter was born, my mom hasn't seen her in person. Anyway, that's for another day. So I was getting distracted. So she was worried about me about something, and I told her about this, that don't worry. And she always believes in God. So I say that faith and fear, if we are worried and if we are so fearful, that also means that we are not trusting God and God's guided path fully. So when our mind goes into that worry zone, we want to get it in the zone of faith. So because that means we are trusting God's path, right? Not that I can do that all the time, 100% of the time, but I try my best. So even though I have been out of India almost 20 years now, I'm very close to my mom. I tell her everything, and she, I have no idea. She is so open-minded. She understands everything. She has never been to United States, and not even much to the big cities in India, only a couple cities, but maybe it's God's favor where she just gets most of the stuff I tell her. And that gives me such joy that she understands me. And I have no idea how, but she does almost everything. And yeah. So anyway, so I was telling her that, and I know that as a mom, we all have that, because even for Alice, my daughter, I worry a lot of time. So I get it, but I was telling her that. And I remember making a video about that too a few months ago. I think it was a shorts, and that made an impact even in my mind. And I think one of you as a viewer, you commented too on that, about that faith over fear, right? So when we are faithful we are in a faithful zone versus the fearful zone, that also means we are trusting God and God's path. And that helps us to increase our faith and the trust in God. It can get just better from there. So, let's keep focusing on faith over fear, and that can only make our life better. And I'm drinking some green tea with my Christmas cup still around because I love Christmas. I think I'll continue the Christmas cup maybe for another week or so. And anyway, so thank you, and thank you guys for coming back, watching my videos, and commenting meaningful things, giving me ideas and what's helping you. And I really, really appreciate that. Your support means a lot more than I can ever say here, because some of the things, I think the emotions, the words are not there in the dictionary, that when you are so grateful, other than saying so grateful, what do you say? Because sometimes it just feels like blessing, right? Because those things are beyond blessings. There are no words, but so deeply appreciate all of your support, and a lot of my friends, they are being very, very supportive too. So I'm grateful for that. I hope you have a rest of Sunday, a good Sunday, and rest of the weekend goes well for you. And in the US, there's some snowstorm coming here in Virginia. I think it's coming tonight. I hope and pray that the damage is not much, and people don't have to suffer too much, because this storm sometimes can be really, really damaging. We can all hope and pray for the people who are in the path of storm, because some of the states, it'll have, I think Midwest area, it'll be pretty bad. So yeah, we can all pray. Okay, with that, take care. Bye.